Spanish-Moro Wars. The British Invasion, 5th Phase. Spanish King's Court, Day 1718. In the early 18th century, the Jesuits, recognizing the strategic importance of Zamboanga, convinced the Spanish king to order its refortification in 1718. Zamboanga Fort Day. Zamboanga, nestled in Mindanao, became a crucial outpost for Spanish control and influence in the southern Philippines. However, the Taosugs and Iranons, two Muslim ethnic groups, resisted Spanish forces in 1720-21 but failed in their attempts to drive them away. Spanish-Dutch Diplomatic Meeting Day. Meanwhile, amidst conflicts with the Spanish, the Moros sought peace treaties and established relations with the Dutch to acquire arms and ammunition. In an attempt to broker peace, the Spanish proposed treaties with the Sultanates. Conditions included accepting evangelization by priests with Sultan's permission. Manila Church, Day 1762. Sultan Azim ud-Din, visiting Manila, underwent baptism but was eventually imprisoned and returned to Hulu. Despite Spanish attempts, he retained the loyalty of local datus and received aid from China and the Ottoman Empire.
In 1762, the British invaded Manila while the Moros of Mindanao remained unconquered. They intensified their commercial activities, particularly with the British. The trades in the Visayas were so severed that the collection of the tribute by the Spanish dropped below 50%. The Spanish retitled by the capturing hundreds of Moros, leading to the dark chapter in history. The slave trade, hundreds of Christian natives were sold slaves in Makassar and Java. This historical period reflects the complex interaction between the Spanish, the Moros, Sultanates, and external power like the British, Dutch, China, and the Ottoman Empire.
During this phase of the war, the Moros led by Sultan Azim ud-Din emerged victorious as they successfully resisted Spanish attempts at conquest. The Moros received support from local datus, China, the Ottoman Empire, and notably the British. The British invasion of Manila in 1762 contributed to the strengthening of the Moros, who in turn accelerated their commercial activities. On the other hand, the Spanish failed in their conquest attempt, with hundreds of Moros captured and Christian natives sold as slaves. The Christian population also suffered from fierce Moro raids in Visayas, leading to a decline in Spanish tribute collection. Overall, the Moros and the British were winners, while the Spaniards and Christian natives faced setbacks and losses. For Moros' victory. Sultan's leadership and local support. Sultan Azim ud-Din's leadership played a crucial role. The Sultan secured the loyalty of local datus, which strengthened the Moros' unity against the Spanish forces. Foreign aid. Support from the external powers such as China and the Ottoman Empire provided the Moros with resources and strategic advantages, bolstering the resistance against the Spanish. British support. The alliance with the British further enhanced the Moros' military capabilities. The British invasion of Manila diverted Spanish attention and resources, indirectly benefiting the Moros. Strategic use of treaties. The Moros engaged in peace treaties with the Spanish while simultaneously seeking arms and ammunition from the Dutch. This diplomatic strategy allowed them to buy time, regroup, and strengthen their position.
Reasons for Spanish defeat. Failed conquest attempts. Despite attempts at returfication and granting peace treaties with conditions, the Spanish were unable to conquer the Moros. The Moros' resistance and ability to maintain their sovereignty undermined Spanish efforts. Lack of local support. The Spaniards faced challenges in gaining the loyalty of local populations. The Moro Sultan had the support of local datus, making it difficult for the Spanish to establish control. Military setbacks. The capture of hundreds of Moros and the failure to achieve conquest goals indicated military setbacks for the Spanish forces. Fierce Moro raids. The intensity of Moros in Visayas disrupted Spanish administration and tribute collection, weakening their control in the region. The British invasion of Manila in 1762 diverted Spanish resources and attention, indirectly benefiting the Moros and contributing to the overall failure of Spanish efforts in the region. The Moro success can be attributed to effective leadership, local and foreign support, and strategic diplomacy. Meanwhile, Spanish defeat was a result of failed conquest attempts, lack of local supports, military setbacks, and the diversion of resources due to the British invasion.